Hi, everybody. So today it's going to be a little bit shorter than yesterday, the video. We're only going to put two examples in our notebooks. And again, or not notebooks, binders. And so you can go back to that spot you were at yesterday, taking notes. And these two examples, again, are going to be dealing with fractions, and more specifically, fractions with different denominators, because that is, I don't know how many times I'll say it, but that is like the hardest part, but also the part we need to practice the most. So this first example, we have x over 3 plus x over 6 equals 10. So we have two different denominators here, right? So yesterday, when we did an example like this, right, I think our denominators were 2 and 3. So we multiplied by 6. And we could do that again, right? We have 3 and 6, so we could multiply by 18. But as the do now might have got you thinking about those least common factors, least common multiples, we have the same idea here. If we can find the least common multiple of these two numbers, so of 3 and of 6, we can just multiply by that. Now, if you multiply by 18, it'll give you the same answer. It's just you'll be dealing with bigger numbers as we go through. So I'm going to multiply by the least common multiple of 2 and, not 2 and 3, and 3 and 6. And that is the number 6, right? So that means 3 goes into 6 and 6 goes into 6. So if we multiply this out, remember that's 6 over 1, we get 6x over 1 times 3, 3 plus 6x over 6 equals 60. Again, because we have two different denominators, we have to do it at the long way. We can't just use the shortcut. Okay, and then we have 6 over 3. That's going to become 2x plus 6 over 6. That's going to become 1x equals 60. All right, and then we'll do 2x plus 1x. Combine those like terms. That gives us 3x equals 60. Divide both sides by 3. And that'll give us x equals 20. All right, so we divided both sides by 3, got that x equals 20. All right, so just again, remember here, the big key was finding the least common multiple of these two. So 3 and 6, that least common multiple was 6, so that's what we multiplied by. All right, we're going to do one more. So here we have x over 2 plus 4 equals x over 3 minus 2. All right, so extend that a little bit. Oops, too far. So again, we want to find the least common multiple of our two denominators. So we have 2 and 3. So we're going to multiply by the least common multiple of those two, which is 6. Right? 6 is the smallest number that 2 goes into and 3 goes into. Right? We could do any number that those two do. We could do 12. We could do 18. Right? There are a lot of numbers that both 2 and 3 go into. Any of those will work, but 6 is going to be the easiest because it's going to give us the smallest numbers to deal with. So if we do that again, we have 6 times x. That gives us 6x over 2. Plus 6 times 4, 24, equals 6 times x. That's going to be 6x over, got to keep that, 3, minus 6 times 2, 12. And you can do plus negative there, right? Means the same thing. All right, then we're going to simplify. So 6 over 2 is going to become 3x plus 24 equals 6 over 3. It'll become 2x plus negative 12. All right, now, we have x's on two different sides. So first thing we're going to have to do is get those two together. So I'm going to do that. You can do it two different ways. I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to minus 2x from both sides. We could also subtract 3x from both sides, but I always like to move the smaller number because then it ends up being positive. So we do that. We'll have, oops, dropped my pen. We'll have 1x plus 24 equals negative 12. And this is a good reason to do that plus negative, because a lot of times if you just leave it as minus 12, people will forget that negative right there. Right? So that's why I changed that to plus negative. So we have 1x plus 24 equals negative 12. Now 1x, that's the same thing as just x plus 24 equals negative 12. Subtract 24 from both sides, and we'll have x equals negative 36. So this would be our final answer. And remember again, a way to check this is to go back to our original equation and plug in that negative 36. So let's do that. Well, let's see, that'd be negative 36 over 2 plus 4 equals negative 36 over 3 minus 2. Negative 36 divided by 2, well, that's going to give us what? Negative 18 plus 4 equals negative 36 divided by 3. That'd be negative 12 minus 2. Negative 18 plus 4 is negative 14. Negative 12 minus 2 is also negative 14. Oh, negative 14 does equal negative 14, so we know this answer was correct. All right, so what you're going to do for the rest of the class is work on some algebra tiles. So I'm going to quickly explain what you do with those, and then you're going to get to work. And once you finish with that, you can start your homework for tonight, which is actually the homework for the weekend because you guys work tomorrow. So each group is going to get something that looks like this. Now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Mr. Ruginis, what a nice looking paperclip you have there. It's true. Don't lose my paperclip. So first thing you're going to do is take that paperclip and put it somewhere safe. I put it right here. Hey, guess where Mr. Ruginis' paperclip is? It's right there. Right there. He is so excited about that paperclip. There's no way he is going to lose it, right? His paperclip is right over here. Okay. Then you're going to spread out your tiles, right? So I only have 4 because I'm just giving you an example. You're going to have 16. And what you need to do is match up these tiles so that they work out correctly, so that it makes a square, right? And so that all of the sides are equal. So for example, if I started with this one right here, right, 2x plus 1 equals 7. So I would subtract 1 from both sides, so that would be 2x equals 6, divide by 3, divide by 3. So that gives us x equals 2. So what I have to do is take this and, wait a second, what did I do? I said divide by 3. I need to divide by 2. Divide by 2. Divide by 2. So that gives us x equals 3. Hopefully you all noticed that and are saying, wait, what's he doing? What's he doing? In a respectful way, of course. So I need to find this and I need to match it up with the x equals 3. Ooh, right there. Great. Then, let's see if I can move this stuff out of the way. All right. Then I could go to another one. So this one, let's look at this one right here. So we have 2 times x plus 4 equals 10. So I would distribute. So we'd have 2x plus 8 equals 10. Subtract 8 from both sides. 2x equals 2, or x equals 1. So then I'd have to match this up with this guy. And then, in this case, I only have 1 left, so this is easy for me. I just know it's got to go there. But you'll notice, right here, if x equals 20, that's going to be 20 plus 1, which is, in fact, 21. So that was check out. And here, if I plug in 2, that'd be 6 minus 1, which is 5. So these two do, in fact, pair up. Now, the tiles you get are going to be laminated. So you can't write on them, which means you're going to need to have out a piece of scratch paper. I also want you to be working with your table partner, all right? If you're not working with your table partner, there's no way you're going to be able to finish this in time. So make sure you're working together. When you finish, have someone check over your answers, and then you will be able to get the homework. Once you have the homework, first thing you need to do is, remove all this, is put these back together. Make sure you get all of them, right? Don't put, oh, I forgot one fell on the floor, oh no, right? No, put them all back together, and then because you didn't lose my paperclip, right? You know exactly what my paperclip is. You're gonna take that, put it back, and you're gonna put it back in the box nice and neatly. All right, so you can get started on that. Otherwise, when you finish that and you've started your homework and class is over, thank you for working so hard. Have a good day. Have a good weekend. Make good choices. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. And I will see you all on Monday. Bye.